Do you all remember in the last video when I said these were the new glasses? I'm sure some of you looked quite puzzled, or at least felt quite puzzled, because you knew these were not the new glasses. I'd been wearing these glasses for a long time. No, they were not the second pair of new glasses. These were the second pair of new glasses. I will say that I have noticed that one of the downsides between these and these is that funky green sheen. Different company. Anyway, so in addition to wearing new glasses, we're wearing a new palette. But before I can get into the new palette, I have a present from Robin. I'm going to open it right now. Robin has been waiting for me. I've had this for a week. It's been a week. I keep saying it's been because really life lately has been. Okay, we are not going to fight that glue. We're just going to open this up. Yes, this is all in our introduction. Open sesame. At least this stuff I can open. Anyway. Okay. All right. Now, Robin, I think, has been enjoying my art series. Both of them. Oh, she's pretty. She's pretty. I'm going to have to mat it and frame it. It's a purple dragon. Thank you. Y'all know purples and pinks and me. And dragons. She's gorgeous. Thank you so much, Robin. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to have to get this matted and framed. So hello and welcome to Domytriesthis This. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug says time for a cat nap. It is always time for a cat nap. This is a brand new coffee mug given to me by my daughter. I did warn you guys that she had started sprinkling new coffee mugs in, right? This is one of them. And in the coffee mug is the Hampstead green tea and mint tea. I have double bagged it. It has only been steeping for a few minutes. Let's go ahead and give her a taste. Little one is eating. I like that. I like that fresh back. It's still very, very hot, but the mint, I mean, it's still steeping. It still needs to strengthen up a little bit, but I'm getting a little bit of that mint on the back end, which is really nice. I like that kind of refreshing kind of mint instead of the overwhelming mint that you can sometimes get. All right, so I did put that beautiful thing back in its packaging to keep it safe, to protect it. Robin, I love it. I love it. I love it. Purple dragons. I love it. I love it. All right. So as you saw, we are getting into the new Nomad Fairy Tale Europe palette. This has been out for a minute. It's going to be out for a while. This is not limited edition, which means they'll have it for at least a year. And it's been besmirched because we've done our look. So there is the look. There's the palette. Beautiful colors. Beautiful colors. We will talk about it. Despite all the nudes, we will talk about it. The cover, this is a raised, you can see that it's raised. The cover is just a little bit different from the box. On the box, you can see the bunny and all of that. And then on here, we have all of the stuff on the outside, and you can see the whole palace. Also in the box, on the ends, we have Once Upon a Time, and happily ever after. That is a nice touch. And on the mirror, we have something similar. I will show you the mirror, but do be aware that we've got that brightness back there. So there's my filming. We'll try to move it over here. But as you can see, there's writing on here. The writing says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?" So I thought that was all very neat as well. This palette, I didn't get a card. I think they're doing away with their cards, which to me makes sense. The cards were just extra packaging, and you know they're gonna have to worry about all that coming up. So I have to remove these because this is bright pink with a purpley blue print on it that is very small. Once upon a time in a land far, far away, old European folklore is the inspiration for many of the modern day fairy tales, and this destination is full of romantic castles, storybook landscapes, and adorable woodland animals. Is where the enchanting tales of Cinderella, Snow White, and others come to life. From Alcazar de Segovia in Spain, that originally inspired Disney, to Sleeping Beauty's castle, Schloss Neuschwanstein in Germany. Come with us to explore the inspiration for your favorite fairy tale and celebrate a world of happily ever afters. This one doesn't say anything on here about a cause. It does say there are 6 versatile mattes, 8 Belle of the Ball shimmers, and 4 transforming multichromes inspired by happily ever after fairy tale Europe. So it is a beautiful palette. We will talk about it more. This is the look we've done. So if you are interested in seeing how this palette performs, or if you're interested in this look, or if you're interested in the other thing that's going on in this particular video, where we talk a little bit about the channel and channel news and what's going on, just a little bit. There's just a few small things. At any rate, if you're interested in any of that, just keep on watching. So let's get one more look at it unbesmirched. 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 She is so pretty. I did, when I was looking at it, trying to decide what I was going to do, I did realize we had a minor problem. All the mattes are pretty neutral. We all know how I feel about neutrals. So I actually have nothing in here to go under my brow really by itself. I have a few things in here I can put over something, but yeah, none of these colors down here help for under the brow. I almost always have a matte under the brow, even if I top it with a shimmer or a glittery topper, but there's nothing here for me to use. So I ended up bringing out Muse, and we are going to start off with Muse's color here. Sweet Pea. That's what I'm going to start with. It's unusual for me to have literally nothing to use in a Nomad palette, but anyway, yeah, that's like a nice purpley pink, which I kind of wanted. The rest of the colors are still going to be a challenge because we are looking at pretty much nothing but shimmery shades. Joy. I don't mind that. Y'all know I love the shimmers and the glitters. But I'm used to putting a matte on the outside too, so it's very different. Alrighty, got a nice matte base, which is what I wanted. I've thought this through a little bit. I only know there's supposed to be 4. Are they duos or multis? Multis. So I only figured out one of them. I looked at a couple others that I thought might be multi-chrome, but I'm not seeing it. This is the one I thought would be multi-chrome, which it does seem to be going from a silver to a gold to, it looks like a bit of a green. Yeah. Now, thought this one might be one. But again, not seeing much of a shift. It's interesting that I'm not. For once, you guys see what I'm seeing, what I see. You are seeing what I see when I put this stuff on my eyes. But I'm going to go ahead and take this Snow White, and I'm going to put that, just dust a little bit over at the top, dry. Let's grab a little bit of that. And I'm going to start on the top down just to give it a small bit of shine. We're not trying to. Ooh, that came out pretty. At least in my mirror. I don't know if you can hear Psylocke in the background. She wants her daddy to feed her. Daddy's dealing with other things right now. Okay, so I already put my glitter primer on. I am going to start with this color First Kiss. That might be a little bit. We're going to start with First Kiss. We're going to put that on the inner third. I am then going to go to the Fairy Godmother, which is this really deep pink, and put that across. And then Wicked Fairy here will go on the end. I already splurched the thing. I love their little cuts on here, their little embossments. Okay, these are very soft, not surprised. That is very, very light, which is fine. There we go. We're in. We are glittered. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit too while we were doing this about the channel and some things. It's small talk. I'm gonna have to put more stuff in here. So noticed, I'm sure you've noticed that content hasn't come back quite the way I thought it would. And what I'm thinking about now is honestly, on the one hand, I hate to do it. On the other hand, I'm not getting a lot of views no matter what I do on pretty much anything. So the makeup content that I've been doing costs me money because I have to buy new stuff. Ooh, pretty high. Nice and bright. So the one thing that doesn't cost me money makes me want to spend money. So at this point, my makeup content is going to go down to, in terms of new stuff, is going to go down to next to nothing. So this will probably be one of the last, I won't say it's the last, but these try-ons are going to become very uncommon at this point, just based on affordability for my family and all that. And I know I've said that before, but one of the things I'm going to do to help me with that is I'm going to stop doing the indie drops and the new indie releases and stuff like that. I'm going to take the other end again where the light pink is. I'm not going to put anything on it, but I am going to move this light pink so it kind of blends into that dark pink. Honestly, from my perspective, from what I've been seeing, it is really hard right now to get a makeup channel up and running. I've been trying for 7 years to do that. things started happening. I had a quick interruption. I did have to do a little repair work in here. I did notice it was a little harder to get that color in there with the brush. I'm a little surprised. Anyway, we're going to go over to this other corner. Wicked Fairy. Put that on the outside. So as I was saying, so to reduce basically my FOMO and all of that, I'm going to stop doing the, that is a very pretty purple. I'm going to stop doing the indie drops, anything with new indie releases. I know some of you like them, but like I said, most of my makeup videos, I mean, to be fair, none of my videos really are getting very high views. So you know what? I just might as well work on keeping my peace of mind and doing the things that I love while finding ways to reduce my, I'm going to grab some more of this dark pink and put it over the edge of that purple. While finding ways to do things that I love. So that means anything with new makeup, generally not going to be happening anymore. Generally. Every now and then I'm sure I will see a palette or something that I really want to buy, and I will share that with you and do a try on with that. But I am just kind of looking at things and figuring out where I kind of need to go. Like I said, for my peace of mind, for my wallet. And also just so, you know, I love doing the makeup, but the pressure to buy makeup is a lot. And I'd really rather not play like that anymore. Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about this yet. All right, so I was going to go to this blue Snow Queen. Let's take a look at Love Story. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, look at that. Okay, so Love Story is a multi. That's not going to help it much for where I was thinking of putting it. We're going to get the end of this wet and continue with that. So, one of the things you're probably going to see more of is art. I now have 3 projects planned. I am actually thinking about starting a 4th because I'm playing around with different kinds of papers. So you're going to see different projects based on different kinds of papers, and they're all going to be progressing along in their own way. I'm really excited about one of them now that I've seen a video of somebody else using similar to the paper that I'm going to be using. I was real worried about it when I first sketched everything out. I'm a little less worried about it now. Okay, so the other thing is I keep hinting to you guys, we're going to put this as our point. I keep hinting to you guys that I have a new series I want to start, and I do. And then I haven't done anything with it. There's a few reasons I haven't done anything with it. One, we had all this stuff with my husband, and right when I was going to start filming that, that stuff started. So the filming got pretty much put on hold. I'm not sure how I feel about that. That's interesting. The filming got pretty much put on hold, and then I started having some general health things going on. Nothing serious like my man there, but you know, just not feeling well. The weather getting to me. We've had a lot of storms rolling through lately, and anyone who knows me on Facebook knows that that shit gives me a hard time. It really does. Wow. That is interesting. Bring that all the way down. That is interesting. That is interesting. I'm not mad at it. that's not what I expected. And it's also not leaning at all. You're not seeing any of that green in there now. I'm not anyway. It's become more purpley, sort of a purpley silver in there. Like I said, I don't have a problem with it. All right. So getting our pointy and we're going to get into Snow Queen now. One of the other things about trying to not purchase so much is the fact that, you know, I have to, excuse me, my voice has done that a few times, is the fact that I have to also, you know, keep buying my hair care and my skin care, and with the tariffs and stuff, all of that's going to get crazy expensive. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to ease my wallet. I'm trying to ease my FOMO. A lot of the times, even though when I was even doing the favorite indie drops, I feel bad because I'm not keeping up on the market. And so there's pressure to do that. So I'm trying to relieve that pressure. And I'm just trying to make it easier for me overall to want to continue to film for you guys and continue to do this. I really do enjoy it. But lately it's just been hard to get here to do it for a lot of reasons. That is a pretty color. And so this other series I was talking about, I still want to. Y'all know, most of my people probably follow Bailey Sarian's Monday Mystery Makeup Mondays, right? Well, kind of got an idea based off that. Murder Makeup Mondays, that's hers. And a little bit more focused, I guess. And that's on missing Indigenous women through the US and Canada. And I actually, like I said, I thought of that before my husband's issues. And then when I was getting ready to start it, the government started getting involved in disappearing people. And I had to think about that because I was concerned, still a little bit, I was concerned that, one, doing the Indigenous one, it's already going to be hard because a lot of these stories don't have a lot to go on. Very few of them have coverage anywhere. So that was already going to be a challenge. I already noticed that when I was looking up my first story and looking up who for my first story. My first story, fortunately, I picked someone who has quite a bit more coverage. But when I plugged in other names into Google searches and stuff, they didn't have a whole lot of coverage. For some of them, I was lucky enough just to find a missing persons blurb for them. So it's already going to be tough. But the second thing is I wondered if it would be disrespectful if I focused on these missing Indigenous women when we now have a lot of American citizens going missing. We all know where they're at. We all know where they're being missing too, but, right. I'm going to take a little bit more I'm trying to read this, of this Xi'an Castle. And I'm going to put that in there too, in the crease. I'm not going to run it out as much, but I'm going to deepen the line. So I'm just putting the tip in and running it along the edge and blending it a bit. Oh wow, that actually ended up looking nice. It's not going full on black, which I appreciate. Oh, I like that. That's almost like well, it's basically creating a ombre effect. We have the deeper part towards the lid. That purple kind of disappeared, didn't it? Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Hey, purple. She's there a little bit. We're doing some touch up, but she's a little bit lighter than I expected her to be. Okay. I need to finish what I was saying very quickly. Anyway, so I thought about it for a while. For a few days. I think I marinated over it for about a week. And I finally came to the conclusion that I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. And because my sisters have been missing for a lot longer than what the government's been doing. Although the government may be responsible for some of my sisters missing. And so I am going to try to do that. So I haven't been doing any Bright Ladies. I haven't been doing any cake inspirations. I've been thinking about them. I am going to attempt to do at least one, maybe two of the missing Indigenous a month, and we'll see where we'll go from there. But anything on newer makeup is going to be rare and far between. I think we can all see what's going on in terms of the art thing and that becoming more of my primary thing to do. I am going to be changing that format, which a little bit, which I will talk about when I do the next art piece. But for now, yeah, those are the two main things I wanted to talk about, was going on with the makeup and adjusting for my comfort and to make it easier on me to do the things. That's all. All right, I am going to go and do the other eye. This is one of those looks where until I get the rest of the makeup on and the earrings and all of that, I'm not going to know how I feel about it. Okay, your opinion is noted. Bang a little harder. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other eye, and then we will come back and we will wrap everything up the way we normally do, right? Okay, I just had to put on the butterfly glasses. These glasses are from Vooglam. Yes, Vooglam. I'm going to say, for me, I don't recommend them. Not only we have shipping problems, which is not completely on them, obviously. The USPS, I don't know. This is before Trump started doing his shit. So the USPS was having issues, and my original order went poof. But that I don't think is on them. From what I saw when I finally got the original package, they had addressed everything right. USPS just lost its mind. But I will say that the lenses here are a lot flatter. Mine usually have, I mean, I could even see it on these. They usually have kind of a bit of a curve to them. The inner corners tend to be thicker. They tend to be thicker in this area. There tends to be a bit more of a curve to them. These are very flat. And I think that is something that is made it more difficult to adjust to them, because anyone who has glasses knows that whenever you switch to a new pair of glasses, you have to adjust to the depth of perception. And these have been difficult to adjust. I do think some of that is the sizing. As you can see from these two pairs of glasses, the Vuglams are a bit bigger. They're longer, wider, I guess. They're wider this way. So that might be part of the reason why they are shaped the way they are shaped. But yeah, they were just, and that may also be contributing to the issue with trying to adjust. But also, as you've seen, we get this greenish, we get this glare over these lenses, and those don't do that. And when on all of my glasses, I always get the transitions, and when I take these out, they are very slow to transition. So yeah, Vuglam is just not a place that I will go again. These are adorable glasses. I'm kind of glad I got 4 pairs for my trouble, but yeah, I personally don't recommend them. Okay, so let's get on to the palette. My biggest issue with the palette, well, you know, let's do our thing. I'm probably falling apart on the inner corners. I did actually do some repair with the brush, but anyway, we're just going to show you whether falling apart or not. Okay, so I don't know if they changed their shimmer formula. It really feels like they did. I noted that it was much harder to pick up on my brush this time when I wanted to repair my inner corner, which is one of the reasons why I just didn't go and do that before doing this for you guys. So there is that issue. And all the mattes are neutral. And while I am not a matte girl, we all know that I do use some mattes for different reasons. So while on the one hand I do like the look that I came up with, I did have to use another palette to do the matte under the brow. And I really feel that this is going to be of limited use to a lot of people, even if they adore shimmers as much as I do. Because even if you adore shimmers, you need some mattes in there for certain parts so that your eyes don't go, oh. I have done completely shimmer looks before. I don't mind doing completely shimmer looks before, but this would not be anything that I could see somebody using all by itself on the regular, going out, particularly if they're a girl like me who likes colors, and all you've got in the mattes is these neutral tones. And at least 2 of these, possibly 3 of them, I can't even use. We have this color, we have Alcazar. I'm just going to run through them. Oh my God. Crans, it's another palace. Chateau de Chambord. And then over here we have this gray. Akershus Fortress. Okay. The gray might work. Y'all can see the problem. This is only a problem. This is my problem with neutrals in general. I mean, even if they had rosy these up, actually this one looks like it might be have a slight pink cast to it, but it does nothing. This one just blends with my skin. I can use that for, I don't know, foundation. Let's take a look at some of these colors that I did not use, or that I used so sparingly, because like I used this lighter green and this darker green under the lower lash line. And so let's grab some of these colors I didn't use much of or didn't use at all. They're pretty. You can see that one of those is another duo. And And these are the two on the end. They're pretty, but I don't feel like they really hit Nomad's usual quality for some reason. So for me, this will likely be... So for me, this will likely be a support palette. At least some of the colors showed up and stayed showing up. You can see the pinks and stuff like that. A couple of them don't want to give up. That pink doesn't want to give up. The color that was next to it doesn't want to give up. Okay. So a few of them seem to have some staying power. I just don't feel like it's the usual Nomad quality, unfortunately. Yeah. That's where I stand for this one. I love the cover. I love the colors. I just really think that it kind of falls short for them. Just a little bit. Not so just disappointed that I'm going to get rid of it or anything, but yeah, not overjoyed with it. I can see me taking, you know, one or two of those shimmers and mixing them with other palettes for other looks. Alrighty, speaking of other palettes, we were talking about changes to the channel and the fact that I said I won't be doing a whole lot of these particular types of videos anymore, which brings me to their other palette that just released, their Route 66. I'm not going to pick that up right away. I may pick it up. I probably will pick it up at some point. I used to live in San Bernardino, which is on the end of Route 66, or the end of the Route 66. And when I was looking at that palette, my only disappointment was they did not put in the San Bernardino arrowhead. I really think that should have been one of the stamps, because it is a major stop. Or I should say it was a major stop. A lot of things, from my understanding, have gone down in San Bernardino that make it a place that's not a destination anymore. Hopefully they're fixing the problems, but I mean, honestly, my husband and I got out of there at a good time, apparently. So all of that said, let's go ahead and sum up the channel. I think you're going to see more art here. We are going to see, like I said, less makeup going up, and I'm cutting down or getting rid of a few things that require a lot of research other than this Missing Indigenous Women Mondays. And it will focus mainly on women, although I don't have a problem bringing in some of the men that have gone missing, because I found a lot of men in the databases or on the sheets that I was looking at. So we may have a few men that show up as well, but it's primarily for women, because Indigenous women have been going missing for decades, and nobody's cared. And this is one of the reasons why I finally decided that even with our government getting involved in the disappearing people business, that I didn't feel it would disrespect what's happening now to focus on my people. Now, that being said, I'm not Navajo or any of those. I am Taino. I'm Taino. And they are the indigenous peoples from Puerto Rico, or Boricua, and a lot of the other islands in that area, and in a few other spaces. And but that said, we are thought to be relative to the Arawak, and so I feel like, as an indigenous person, all of the indigenous tribes are my family. And so I'm just going to report on the people who are missing in my family. And I hope you guys will come in for that. I have hopefully got some help so that I can do it well. Bailey is wonderful, but she must not be blind. So I'm going to be figuring some things out so that I can do that without doing this all the time, which is one of the things that became a problem in the storytelling, is that I had to look down all the time. So I've already got one of the tools that I want for that. We'll see how it works by itself and go from there. You will also notice that I did not use the mini microphone today. I have another one that I've picked out, a little bit more expensive. I'm hoping the sound will be better, and we'll try that out and we'll see where that goes. If that doesn't work, I may just tank the whole microphone thing entirely. I do not have a setup for a big ass microphone in my face. And I don't want to have to keep buying microphones until I find the one that works. I don't have the money for all that. So we're going to give a second one a try, hopefully relatively soon. But I did want to just make people aware, especially those of you who came here for the makeup and stayed for the makeup. There's going to be less of it. And so I wanted to make that awareness known. Like I said, I'm not getting a lot of views across on anything anyway. So I might as well just do what I enjoy doing instead of looking at numbers, right? And I should have been doing that anyway. And it's just, sometimes you just kind of hope that your baby, my channel, is going to do better than it's been doing, and so far it's just sort of limping along. So we're just going to go ahead and let it limp along and do the things that we really enjoy doing. I enjoy doing makeup, but we're going to be doing less new stuff. So a lot of the stuff that comes up, you're going to have to figure out where to find colors, because a lot of my makeup is probably discontinued. I've already run into, there is a palette that I want to replace. It is the Violet Voss Vibes, I think, and it's their neon palette. And apparently it is no longer in production. So, and I've been using it upstairs. Anyway, I have plenty of other palettes with brilliant neons that I can use, so it's not that big of a deal, but I enjoyed that palette. But there are palettes that have been discontinued that I cannot replace, and so even though I will tell you what palettes I have, you may still have to figure something out if you're interested in doing that. If you're interested in just watching, just to hear about the missing women, and you know, kind of like a story time kind of thing like Bailey does, then I welcome you for that as well. And like I said, still going to do the art. We are not doing our garden this year. It's too much. I don't have it in me to go through all of the things, see what I need, come up with the money in this economy right now, get all the things that I need, and then put all the energy in putting it together. I have ideas of what I want to do, but it'll probably be for next year. And I keep saying we're going to try to get back to baking and cooking, but God knows when that'll happen. So you'll know when I know. I want to do it. One of the things that it is very hard to do when you have a YouTube channel, particularly these days, is pretty much everything's been done. And unless you have a sparkling personality, or are very young and beautiful, or have been here for a very long time, it is hard to get viewers and subscribers to do all the things. And unfortunately, that's the only way that you can actually end up with a paying channel. So if you're not getting paid for it, as much as you love it, sometimes you got to move on to other things and just put it into a, you know, yes, I'm still going to do it, but it's not going to be a primary activity. And I'm really loving my art. I hope you guys have been loving the art too. I know it looks like a lot of stuff gets discontinued and stuff. When I talk to other artists, they said that happens all the time. All the time. Anyway, you will have to let me know down below. First of all, are you going to pick up this palette? Let me know what you think of the look and the palette. I would love to hear your thoughts. And take a look at the next palette, because like I said, I'm not going to do the indie drops anymore. So you might as well go ahead and take a look at the next palette on their site. It's already out. And let me know if you're going to buy that one too. I would love to hear it. Let me know what you think about the direction we're going for the channel. I know some of you are going to miss the makeup and probably leave because it's not going to be there anymore. And I'm sorry for that. But like I said, got to find my peace, my joy, and my financial comfort. So that's where we're going right now. And yeah, all the things. Comment, subscribe, share, like. We'd love to hear it. It would really help me out over here. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and sip this cup of tea, and then we're going to get on out of here so my husband can make dinner. He's been waiting. He's been waiting. I told him 20 minutes. 35 minutes ago. Let's sip our tea. This one has a real nice faint mint scent. I love it. I like that. I like that. That's a nice one. I don't know if I will repurchase it because I actually, even though it is a nice one, I have a lot of mint teas that I like, but this is a nice one. They do come in boxes, and they should be in your grocery store if you're interested. All right, so as we all know, I love my girls. I love my dragonettes, and I hope you have a good one.